So guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's comparison, there are going to be timestamps in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, so you can skip to the part that you want to skip to. But we're going to compare the Aero Fit 2s versus the Aero Clips. Now, both of these buds are pretty expensive. The Aero Fit 2s being it's $129.99 now. They used to be $99, while the Aero Clips were $129. They're now $169. I'm assuming this must be due to the inflation of tariffs and things like that. So hopefully we do get some lower prices in time. But for right now, this is what they actually cost. They substantially more than the original launch cost. Anyway, it's going to be a comparison. I'm going to let you know the difference between the buds, which one tend to sound better depending on what it is that you're doing, and kind of just do a overall general comparison of two open ear buds, because not everybody wants buds that go directly into their ears. It could cause ear soreness and earache and things like that. So I do appreciate the variety, especially under Soundcore. So let's get right to this review and not waste any time. So let's do a quick comparison about specifications for both of these buds. We're going to read off the Aero Clips first. They have 12mm drivers, Bluetooth 5.4, 4 mics with AIs, so it has clear calls, clear, concise. We'll go over a section on that a little bit later. They do have tap controls. The battery life is pretty good, 8 hours when it comes to listening time, and then 24 in the case, which gives you a total of 32. Now, keep in mind that the talk time is going to be a little bit different. And when they say playtime, they're talking about just music consumption, movie consumption, something like that. The water resistance rating is going to be IPX4 for the clips. It does have fast charging, which is 10 minutes, gives you 3 hours. It has multi-point. Recently, it even has a feature where they added LDAC with an upgrade. So that's also a good thing. Now, when it comes to the multi-point, keep in mind for both of these buds, if you turn on LDAC, the multi-point is not going to work. You have to keep it off in order for it to work. And what is it missing? AI translation. It doesn't have it for this particular kind, and it doesn't have wireless charging. And there is no dedicated gaming mode, though you can change the equalizer in the settings, so that is a +2. And of course, you have full-blooded control over the tap controls, where you can even turn them off in the app settings. So that is the Aero Clips. They cost $169.99 right now. The price did increase, probably due to the tariffs, so keep that in mind. Now let's go over the Aero Fit 2s. Now the Aero Fit 2s, on the other hand, they actually have 20 by 11.5mm drivers, so they have more powerful drivers. They're also Bluetooth 5.4. They also have 4 mics for AI calls. It's also like touch, or I guess you consider them tap touch controls depending on the sensitivity of your hand. The battery life is going to be different, 10 hours of battery life, while you have 32 in the case itself. So you have a grand total of 42 hours. The water resistance is going to be IP55 with the Aero Fit 2s. You also have a fast charging feature, so both of them have that. They both have multi-point, and they both have LDAC. And again, I'll just say this over again. The LDAC won't work with the multi-point. You can't use both at the same time. So either you want LDAC for the more quality of sound, or you don't use LDAC and you are able to use multi-point to hook up to multiple devices. It really depends on what it is that you want to do. Now, the things that these do have that the other ones don't is that these have wireless charging, and they have an AI feature where it actually translates in real time what people say to you, or if you just want to translate something and then, you know, hear it in German or whatever language, it just has more features overall. And might I add that it has its own dedicated gaming mode. That's for $129.99 versus $169.99, which is our Aero Clips. So again, if we're just talking about the value of the buds and which one is going to have bigger and better sound, we already know it's going to be the Aero Fit 2s, but design does matter depending on if you're going to work, depending on your lifestyle. If you don't want some big old headset hooked on your ear, clips are going to probably feel better for an entire shift, in my opinion, over ear hooks. You know what I mean? One's a little bit more invasive, one has a smaller case, so it's all about preference at this point. But I'm what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm talking too much. Let's move on so I can show you how the applications actually work themselves. So you guys are going to probably hear some cat noises, Kirby's in heat. Do apologize for that, but let's get on with this part of the video. So this is going to be the customization section when it comes to the actual application support. The buds are very similar in a way where they both have touch control options that you can change yourself. They both allow you to manage the multi-point in this section right here with the application. You can see the battery life. You can change what the tap controls do, which is you can actually turn it off completely if you choose to. Also, you have the option of changing the sound prompts, whether it's low battery tones or tap button tones. If you want to turn that off, that option is available too. It just has a decent level of customization. But if you notice between the two, the Aero Fit 2s have AI translation. They also have a dedicated gaming mode. They also have presets, more equalizer presets than the Aero Clips. Now, that doesn't mean that for the average person that likes the presets, this is better for you in terms of customization, but they both do have the option for, what is it called? I should know this. Now I can't even think straight now I'm talking to you guys. All right, that's what it was. They have the option to have a custom EQ, which is very, very important. I think that most buds should have that if they don't have those presets, and Soundcore did a good job on that. But also the big 3D sound feature is on the Aero Fit 2s because, again, 20mm by 11.5 drivers are going to outperform 12mm drivers in terms of sound. You're going to have bigger bass. You're going to have a louder quality overall for the Aero Fit 2s. Just got to be honest with you guys. This isn't really a video saying which one is necessarily better than the other. We already know in terms of sound that the Aero Fit 2s are going to be better, but it's also about the personal preference of which ones you prefer. So if you go with the clips, understand what you're missing or what you have versus the Aero Fit 2s about what you're missing or what you have. And again, like I said before, both buds work very, very well in my personal opinion. I actually use the Aero Clips a little bit more because they're smaller, they're easier to cover. I use them at work on a regular basis. I can leave them in all day long and I don't feel any soreness or inconvenience whatsoever, while the ear hooks over time can cause a little bit soreness depending on if you're wearing glasses or, you know, the level of comfort, because different ears, different shapes. But when something clips on your ear, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just liberating to not have all that extra hardware, but it does come with some sacrifices. So just keep that in mind. So this is going to be a sound sample of the Aero Clips. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is actually me sitting inside of not a lobby, I would say a lobby. This is me sitting inside of my office. It's a quiet background, no wind is blowing. This is the level of quality that you're going to get if you decide to use these for recording purposes, so keep that in mind. So this is going to be a sound test with the Aero Fit 2s. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. As a matter of fact, I'm in the same testing area inside of my office. This is how it's going to sound if you're on phone calls. If you decide to use the actual microphone speakers from the headset itself, keep in mind, a lot of times when we record with our phones with earbuds currently connected, the sound may still come out of your phone. But if you go to the settings, especially with Samsung devices, you can change the setting where it actually uses the Bluetooth microphones for you to do your tests. And this is what I'm using right now. So keep that in mind and use this for reference when comparing the Aero Clips. So this is the Aero Clips right here. And then we're going to have the Aero Fit 2s on this side. Both of these buds, in my opinion, feel good. They're very comfortable. Though what I will say is I'm going to give it to the Clips that these are a lot more comfortable than the Aero Fit 2s. And let me explain why. Number one, I wear glasses. So if you don't wear glasses and you put the Aero Fit 2s in, you'll have less pressure behind your ear right here. Though when you put glasses on, you do feel like it's pressing down on the actual ear hook right here, which may cause some uneasiness for the person wearing it. Now, I've had these in, I would say on average, for about 4 to 5 hours at work. And while I do feel a little bit soreness at times, I will say that for the most part, these are probably one of the most comfortable pair of buds that I have ever reviewed or worn for ear hook designs. It's very rare for something to be this comfortable. These are really, really good. So for the person out there that's used to ear hooks, open ear, you might have used those Skull Candy open ear buds before, or some other brand. You might use AirPods or something like that, and you want something that's going to sit still a lot better. This is going to work for you very, very well. It works well in the gym with jogging, running, and exercising. Though what I will say is when I'm jumping up and down, jumping jacks, or doing like sit-ups and stuff, it does move a little bit, the inside of here, because it's not directly into your ear. So you might find yourself adjusting it from time to time, but really big quality sound. Now for the Aero Clips, like I was saying a little bit earlier, these are just so freaking comfortable, man. I wear these every single day at work. Like I'll take these, the A30s, and wear them whether I'm riding the bike or a scooter or something like that, because they have wind protection, so I can talk to my wife on the phone and I don't have to worry about the elements. She can still hear me clearly. And then when I get to the job, I put on the Clips because They're comfortable. I can wear them all day. A lot of times I forget they're actually in my ear, and I just play music in the background. And when I need to just, put them in a case to charge them, like around 12 in the afternoon or something, pop them back in a case. 10 minutes will give it a 3-hour battery life, so keep that in mind. If depending on how low the battery life is, pop them back in my ear, and then I just use them until I leave again for the rest of the day, for the rest of the work day. So that's how I normally use them. I walk around the house with these buds on. They're just really comfortable. They're really, really lightweight. And granted, again, you're going to get better quality sound with the aerial fits, but what matters is how they feel. And I can honestly say that these haven't steered me wrong so far. But yes, both are very comfortable, but I do have to give it to the clips. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable if we're in terms of longevity. So let me first talk about the similarities to both of these buds, and then I'm going to have to just be completely honest and explain why the Aerial Fit 2s outperform the Aerial Clips. And it's not rocket science. We kind of already know why, but I just if you want someone to say it to you, I'll explain it. They both do sound good. They both have bass options. When it comes to the vocals coming out of them, they're both very clear. It sounds very, very good. I listened to quite a few songs from Liza P and so many other genres, R&B. Liza P is a game, by the way, but R&B, Tekashi 6ix9ine, I listened to him, Juice WRLD, my typical regulars, AC/DC, a little bit of Michael Jackson, a couple Jill Scott songs. I'm about to say Mariah Carey, I don't listen to her. What's the girl's name? As Long As You Live, Toni Braxton. Like, there's a bunch of different songs that I tried out to kind of get the range of the music. Both of them sound great for what they do. With that being said, now here comes the honesty. It doesn't matter if you're using LDAC or not. The quality of sound for the Aerial Fit 2s is going to be substantially louder. The bass is going to be a lot more pronounced. The instruments are going to sound a lot more richer. As you turn up the headset, you're going to notice that like 70% of the Aerial Fit 2s is 100% of the Aerial Clips. So you have that extra 30% to drown out background noise if you're walking, if you're a student, or you're walking to work, certain things, and you still want that open ear, but you still want it to be loud and precise. The Aerial Fit 2s are just going to outperform it all the way around. Now, it's not to say that the music quality is suffering on the Aerial Clips, because they're not. They actually sound very good for what they do. But if we're just talking about the sheer 20mm by 11.5 drivers in the Aerial Fit 2s, just outclass the Aerial Clips in every single way. So it doesn't matter how sharp the sound is on the clips, it will never sound as good as the Aerial Fit 2s. That's just facts. Now, with that being said, I still prefer the clips because of my lifestyle. I still prefer the clips. I carry them wherever I go when I'm indoors and things like that. While the Aerial Fit 2s, if I take a jog outside and stuff, I tend to use them more in that regard, or with my Steam Deck. Depends on what I choose to use it for. Both sound good in their own right. Both offer other features, but it just seems like the Aerial Fit 2s overall, whether it's customization or anything, just offer more quality all around the board. You know what I mean? For a lesser price. Right now, it's just more so the battle of the fit. Outside of that, the Aerial Fit 2s are going to outperform point blank. And, if you're watching this full review, you can see that yourself. With that being said, let's move on to the last section, which I kind of explained, but I figure, hey, we have timestamps in the video, so someone is going to want to skip to each part to kind of condense the video. So let's do that right now. So which buds are better? To be completely honest with you, the Aerial Fit 2s are the better buds, and they're cheaper. Better sound, better drivers, better battery life, wireless charging, more features, AI translation. It just has a lot more in it. They both have LDAC. They both have multi-point. They both have customization when it comes to like EQ settings, and things like that. Though the Aerial Fit 2s has more presets, the good thing is that you still have the option for the custom EQ on both of them, so that kind of eliminates that right there. Though you do have the option for 3D sound. For the Aerial Fit 2s, I don't personally really use that because I don't really care. But for the person out there that likes that more vivid 3D-ish sound, you have that option too. On top of that, you have a dedicated gaming mode. It's just, we can keep going, right? And the bass is going to be better when it comes to music. The vocals are going to be better. The maximum volume of the headset is better on the Aerial Fit 2s. They're better in every way. So the question is, why would you buy the clips? Well, me personally, they both were sent to me. I love clip earbuds because I work a job where I don't want to have big ear hooks on. I want to be comfortable throughout the entire day. So whether I'm using Bluetooth glasses or I decide to use my Aerial Clips, which I carry everywhere I go. When I'm home, I use the clips. When I'm at work, I use the clips. When I'm shopping, I use the clips for everything because they're so lightweight that it's just super comfortable. They don't hook around the ears. I think that the comfortability aspect goes to the clips, and that goes a long way. So granted, the sound quality it doesn't suffer from sound quality. Let's be perfectly clear here. It's very good. But when it comes to just the fit and feel, for a lot of people, having clips and something lightweight that's less evasive, people may have damage behind the back of their ears, so whether they were burned or they have cuts or they wore glasses like me for a long time, and it's hard for us to find a headset that works well. That's where I think clips really shine, and Soundcore does a really good job with their clips. So again, you still have your multi-point, you still have the features that you actually want with the clips, though you are sacrificing maximum volume and sound because the drivers aren't nearly as big as the Aerial Fit 2s. But on the flip side, if you like ear hooks and that's what you prefer, then these are going to be the better quality headset overall for you. It's going to have more features. It's a sleek design. I think they both look nice. And to be honest with you, the only negative thing I can really say about either bud is that they both increased in price. That one was $99, the Aerial Fit 2s are now $129, probably due to tariffs and things. And while the clips are $129 originally, they went up to $149, and then they finalized at $169.99. And when you look at that huge $40 discrepancy, you know, in terms of quality of sound, the Aerial Fit 2s are going to win in that regard. But again, I use my clips more because of comfortability. But I'll leave that up to you to decide. Full-blooded reviews on the channel for anyone that's interested in that. AI reviews for the translation aspect. Like and subscribe like always, and I will see y'all in the next video. So, till then, take care. Peace.